Good day to one and all present here. Hope you're all staying safe and attending the workshop, Emerging Trends in Retail Store Experience Design. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. Can we all join for the prayer and start this workshop with a college prayer and Tamil Thai Valtu by Reshma? I request you all to join for the prayer.
Technical team, can you unmute Reshma? Reshma, yes. Thank you so much.
Namo Ariyantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loye Savasagunam, Eso Panchanamo Karo, Sarva Pavapanasano, Mangalanam Chesarvesim. Paramam Havai Mangalam, Paramam Havai Mangalam. Neerarum kadaludutta nilamadanda kelozhugum, Seerarum vadanamenna tigalparada kandamidu, Tekkanamum adu siranda Dravidanar Tirunadum, Takkar siru pirai nudalum daritanarum tilagamume, Attilaga vasanai pol anaithulagum endamura, Ettisayum pugal manakka irunda perum Tamilanange, Tamilanange, un seerilamai thirumbi andha செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே, வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Thank you, Reshma. I now request Manat to give the welcome address.
Good day to one and all present here. It's a great pleasure in welcoming you all for today's workshop on emerging trends in retail store experience design, which is organized by a Central of Excellence Retail. With the blessings of our beloved Secretary, Srimati Usha Abhaya, Shri Shrimal, Associate Secretary, Dr. Harish L. Mehta, our Principal, Dr. S. Padmavati, Vice Principal, Dr. S. Rukmani, our Executive Director, Mr. G. Balakrishnan, and the speaker for today is Sujata Karthik. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. It's a great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Ms. Sujata Karthik, the Managing Director of Don Rax. She has completed her post-graduation from New York University. She joined a family business named Don Rax and took it to a great heights. Don Rax is a private limited company which specializes in offering hypermarket, supermarkets, and warehouse storage solutions across India. Under the training and the guidance of her father, Mr. Y. Sundarnasan Rao, who's the head of a group of manufacturing companies. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owners everywhere. Our speaker, Ms. Sujata Karthik, will now take over the session on emerging trends in retail store experience design.
So thank you so much, Aruna, for the lovely introduction. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
ma'am.
So, good evening to all the wonderful, I would say, girls or ladies out here. I'm so happy to be a part of today's session with all of you. I was invited by Ms. Aruna a couple of days back to talk about, the growth and, how I took over my father's company, how I'm managing the business, and obviously the upcoming and the current retail trends that's happening in the market. So, about me, as introduced, I'm Sujata Karthik. I'm the managing director of a company called Don Rax. What is Don Rax? We are into supermarket, hypermarket, warehouse, and industrial solutions. And one second, please hold on. Yeah, we are into supermarket, hypermarket, and we are into supermarket, hypermarket, and warehouse and industrial solutions. So these are the two divisions that we cater to. We manufacture the metal shelving that you see in the supermarket and hypermarket stores. Our major clients are Reliance, More Retail. We have, obviously, you must be knowing COE Paramudar stores. Nilgiris, the entire Nilgiris in Chennai that you see is all executed by us. The other segment is we are into the warehouse and the industrial segment, where we cater to Amazon warehouses, Flipkart warehouses. We are into huge cold storage solutions. We are also into the e-commerce segment for their warehouse and third-party logistics distribution. So this company was started by my father in the year 1989. Along with few other companies. So my father was, born to a tailor. He could do only till his 10th standard, and 11th and 12th, he didn't have the money, to pursue his 11th and 12th, but he did his diploma in tool designing. And he was a gold medalist in tool designing. From there, he got about 4 job opportunities in India, out of which one was TVS. Lucas TVS in Chennai. He worked over there for about 4 or 5 years. And then he became a draftsman. He started making tool design and selling, the drawings, to some prime companies. After which he decided that, no, he should, start his own business. So he was the first one to actually invent and bring to India the automatic rice cooker, the rice cookers that you see from Crompton Greaves National. The technology was developed by my father and sold to the national company. After which he, being a tool design, gold medalist, he always has this crave for inventing or developing new products. So he went on to develop supermarket racking, for which he saw there is a huge scope. From Dona, the rice cookers were named as Dona. From there, when he moved on to the supermarket racking, he named it as Don Rax. That's how the name actually came into the picture. So over there, he started catering to, small retail stores. You must be seeing about 200, 300 square feet stores. So he was catering to that directly. The company grew to an extent, and then he started off with a second product line, which is into the warehouse and industrial racking. So warehouse and industrial racking is completely corporate companies where you have to deal with a lot of safety norms, because the racks are almost 13 meters in height. I would say that would be the maximum, 13 meters in height. So you can imagine how the products are stored in the warehouses. So it requires a lot of stability in the racks. It requires a lot of quality, obviously, and it requires the perfect installation at site. And we should not be receiving any customer complaints after the installation that is done, because we need to take care of the safety aspect as well. So he developed that product in the year 2004 and started servicing both the industries, whereon he started building different organizations, where our other organizations were into the amusement equipment manufacturing division as well. We are also into manufacturing tools and dies for automobile companies, which is headed by his partner and partner children. So in the year 2009, when I was studying abroad, so I did my schooling in Chennai. I did my undergrad in Venkateshwara College of Engineering, SVC. and my engineering I had done there. Then I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to be under the shadow of my parents. I wanted to be independent. And I moved, to the US. Obviously, I had taken my entrance exams and all, and I got an offer in a couple of universities in the US. So I chose New York University, obviously being the heart of the United States. I wanted to learn, one is about the studies, the field that I was choosing, and the other was completely being independent by myself, being a woman. So there was a lot of practical learning that I had over there. I was fortunate to work over there for a year in a startup company. I also worked with a company which was funded by our university. So there are a couple of startup companies which are funded by our university. So I got an opportunity to work over there part-time. So I was continuing to work, and one fine day I get a call from my father, along with our consultant who was working with my father, for which I was due to get back to India because my wedding was fixed. So the consultant was like, why don't you come back and, come back a little early and just spend about 3 days, time in the company. So until then, I just knew this is what, my father was into, but I really didn't know how the business was doing, or, what was really going on in the company. I really didn't know. So I, went to India. I came back, to Chennai. The day I landed, the day I landed was a Sunday. So Monday, next day itself, I came to the company, and that's when I really understood that the company, specific to Don Rax, wasn't doing actually well. And, being a girl, I think, I don't know, I wouldn't want to differentiate being a girl or a boy. Being a child, being brought up without, any issues at all, and not highlighting any issues at all. I thought, it is time, I know or not about the industry, or, about the product, I should get in and give it, my 100%. So I was trying to understand, and, I was trying to find out what really went wrong. And the major problem was, I don't know if most of you are aware, in 2008-9, there was a huge recession where the steel prices were so high. Steel prices were so high that the China imports, the products that you get after importing from China, the landed prices were cheaper than locally manufactured. So what happened, we started catering to a lot of corporate clients, even in the supermarket segment, which is the Spencers, the more retail, and even Chroma stores that you see in south of India are all executed by us. Yeah. So, suddenly there was a drop of orders because all the corporate chains decided that they would import from China because the costs are cheaper. The prices are cheaper, obviously, from importing from China. So then, we were in a very, the company was in a very bad situation where the overheads, were higher than the sales itself. So, that was a very bad phase. We really didn't know. We were looking at, if we have to close down the company and things like that. Then after a lot of brainstorming for about 15-20 days, or I would say a month, we decided that in the retail segment, we need to shift as per the trend. We need to really find out who should be our target customers and how we should work if the corporates are really not working for us. So what we did, since the corporates were buying from China containers and containers, we decided who are the other people who would buy racks and open supermarket stores. Those are the unorganized and individual retail sectors. Unorganized and individual retail sectors are the ones, anyone who would want to open a supermarket store. You must be seeing a lot of stores, with individual names that are open. They are the players who cannot import, in containers from China. One being the knowledge. Second, just for, a small store, importing from China could be expensive for them because corporates would import 20-30 stores together in a container itself. So we decided, okay, then this is our segment that we have to follow. And we started focusing on the unorganized retail from the year 2010. So what we did, we had only a showroom in Chennai. We decided that we should open our own offices in the other states in the south. We went on opening in Coimbatore. We went to open Trichy. We went to open in Vijayawada. We went on opening in Cochin and in Bangalore. You must be asking, why showroom for a racking company? We wanted to have an experience center where the local customer, so we're targeting the unorganized customer. So the local customer would come and feel, see the product, see the quality, have a look and feel of the product. And dealing with the unorganized segment, obviously we have to take care of the payments as well. So we demanded 100% payment before the invoicing so that we could focus completely on selling our product itself. So we started developing in terms of focusing on customer delivery, focusing on the quality of our product. And coming to this retail racking segment or the supermarket racking segment, I wouldn't say that we are customer driven in terms of the quality. We are actually market driven. So to keep up with the competition, we ensure that the in-house process is completely streamlined. And we have implemented an ERP system, which I would say in the supermarket racking segment, there is no company in India with the ERP system that we have in place. So we went on to develop, which obviously, when you're looking at implementing systems in place, you really require some strong systems, which eventually boil down to the ERP, where our quotations, our layouts, everything is submitted through ERP. There's nothing that one person knows one thing, the other person doesn't know the same thing in the organization. So we went on to develop, the ERP solution, and we have started, we have gone live and we started working with the ERP software in the year 2012 or 13, if I'm not wrong. So that time when we started off, we were catering to about 10 customers or something a month, maybe 7 to 10 customers, but now we cater to more than 150 stores execution only in the supermarket segment every month. So I would say the growth has mainly happened, one is the internal changes in the organization itself. I wouldn't say with respect to people, obviously people are valued at every organization. I would say in terms of the training, in terms of changing their mindset, in terms of changing why our brand, why customers should buy our brand product. So that is something that we have keenly, incorporated in everyone's mind in our organization. And we wanted to be customer driven in terms of, giving solutions. Obviously, we are a mass manufacturing company. We are not into the apparel segment that you see, the design stores and all that. We are completely into the supermarket racking, where we try and understand the customer's budget. We try and understand the customer's need. We try and understand if customer is looking at the Vastu a point of view, or he's looking at some particular kind of storage. In supermarket stores, today's trend is maybe one floor they'll be having grocery segment, another floor they might be having, I would say it could be gifts, article segment. Someone might, who's into the pet industry also might be having a floor just full of pet supplies with them. So if you see, coming to the retail store, experience in terms of design, first, what we really need to understand is the shift from the right now post-COVID. So, in 2008-9, we shifted from the organized to the unorganized sector. Now, what is happening post-pandemic, that is post 2020? I don't know, most of you must be seeing in the news, the retail giants are buying over the unorganized stores or the small chains. So what happens, the unorganized segment, the 1 or 2 stores, they are trying to open more stores and create an organized format so that these big players would buy over these, small chain organized stores. For example, I would say, we don't know, maybe COE Paramudar, or if some of you might know Kannan Departmental Store, which is Coimbatore and Erode based company. They are taken over by Reliance. So Reliance is constantly looking at, supermarket stores, a small chain of supermarket stores where they can take over and make it an organized retail. So there is a huge shift from the unorganized segment to the organized segment that is happening right now. So with respect to that, the unorganized segment, which are moving to the small chain, they are constantly looking at what is the buying behavior of the customer. For the buying behavior, now since there are too many stores that are open, before in a, maybe I would say maybe in 5-6 streets you might have one supermarket store, but today in one street you would find about 3 stores at least. So what is happening? The customer or the footfall is getting split to 3 stores. So one customer is not able to get the maximum customer coming to the same store. So he needs to really look at different ways of maybe giving promotions or adding in terms of variety of products. He might have to really look at the purchasing power, so that if he purchases at better price, he might be able to offer at a lower price. How Savna Stores is doing today, how is he able to offer at lower prices than the other stores? That's because of his the way he purchases the raw material or whatever the stocks that they have. Their purchasing power is really high, so that's where they are able to offer at lower prices. The third thing is about the store design. Obviously, when a customer walks into the store, the shopping experience should be really good for the buyer. That's why you see today the kirana stores or the over-the-counter stores that you see is slowly getting shifted to the supermarket kind of an organized store. Because here the customer walks into the store, he would pick up, he would actually want to go only for one product. But when he is going to the store, he or she is going to the store, he would eventually go and shop for about another 10 products, what is really not required. But when you go to a kirana store or over-the-counter store, you would just ask for what you want and you would get it back. So this increases obviously in the revenue and the sale, obviously the revenue of the store in terms of the buying experience of the product. So here in store design, what we do in such a way, sometimes there would be lighting that's required for a particular product, a high value product. For example, if it's a gift article, we might have to design a rack in such a way that the shelves, instead of giving in the metal component, we would give it as a glass shelf. We would give a tube light in one of the levels so that the product is highlighted. If it is crockery, again, the same way, it could be in terms of the specification, it could be in terms of the color because of the logo. And the customers would really work in terms of positioning the product in the store. For example, the lower level products that is there in the stores could be a slow moving or a low margin product for the store. So what he would keep at the eye level, easy to pick up products, is fast moving as well as high margin for the supermarket owner. That is what is something that is seen, that is easily being able to pick up. So this is where the store design comes in place. And we also look at in terms of the aisle between a rack to rack, the rows. We also look at what is the walking space over there, because we have trolley movements also in the store. How the lighting of the store is positioned. It needs to be at the center, the aisle, so that the lighting is, it falls on both the sides of the racks as well. Then again, the billing counter, how many billing counters you need to have, or where the billing counter needs to come, or in terms of vastu, where the supermarket store owner wants to keep the cash counter or the billing counter. So all those are suggested by our team. So our team is completely trained in terms of understanding the client's requirement. There's one more thing, which we are seeing, emerging thing. How do you increase the buying experience of the walk-ins? The main thing is the entertainment. So entertainment could be, some, stores, invest in a play area, a soft play area where the kids are put there while, the clients or the walk-ins come and shop around. There are these kids trolleys which are available in the supermarket stores, which customers buy from us so that the kids are occupied over there. You also see cafes sometimes in hypermarkets. You say at one particular place they have a cafe, or outside they would give it to different eateries or stalls, so that with those stalls, maybe someone standing there might remember to buy something at the store. So that's why these stalls are actually given, so that the walk-ins are increased in such a manner. So this is in terms of entertainment or positioning stalls, or having some kind of an activity for the kids. If it's a bigger store, I'm talking in terms of the hypermarket store. Knowing your competition for the supermarket store owners is very, very important. These days you might see a lot of supermarket stores are offering pointage system, where you become a member of that store, you accumulate points and you get a discount. So that is something that they really are moving towards. And even today, a lot of unorganized or the individual retail stores are also coming with delivery, free of cost delivery. You just take down their number, they are willing to supply free of cost. And this pandemic time, when nothing was working, it was mainly, apart from the hospitals, the supermarket stores were doing really well. Even though the stores were open only for 4-5 hours, the deliveries had picked up. Customers gave me feedback that their sales have turned around almost 3 times. The stocks that weren't moving were moving up like anything, and we really saw our business also directly or indirectly grew because of this. And everyone wants to invest in opening up a supermarket store, because if you have someone really running a store, and if they're keen on making that supermarket store a success and understand what's really going on, that is the best bet for an investment in today's case. That is something that a feedback that I've got from a lot of customers. The last thing that I want to really touch upon is the technology boom that has happened post COVID. You must be seeing a huge shift with respect to e-commerce. E-commerce are mainly targeting on tier 2, tier 3 cities, where today everyone wants to get the best product at a low cost. Different designs, let it be clothing and things like that. The apparel industry, there's a big boom in e-commerce. There could be, obviously the I would say the consumer products like the makeups and all that. You must heard about Nykaa also, how it really shot up, before the IPO, they went public. So in terms of the supermarket segment, what shift we really saw post-COVID, apart from the individual stores or the retail chains taking over these small chains, we really saw that the food app boom that has happened, post-COVID. Before, we just had Swiggy, connecting to restaurants, or Zomato connecting to the restaurants for food delivery. But now what have they ventured into? They have ventured into picking up material, picking up products from the stores. So what they started doing, they started individually connecting, that is Dunzo connecting to individual supermarket stores, Swiggy connecting to individual supermarket stores. That's how they started picking up the product for deliveries. But then what happened? Is that enough? They thought that's not enough. We need to focus on quick deliveries. So you might be seeing Zepto 14-minute delivery, I think Dunzo 19-minute delivery. You must have seen the large ads that is put up, on websites, online, that you must be seeing the promotional activities and all that is going on. How do they get, these products at such short lead times? There's something called dark stores that has come out. Dark stores are the stores that are run by these food delivery apps. It is not by the individual retail stores, where they own their own distribution centers, which is called dark stores. So they'll take up about 1,000 square feet or 500 square feet warehouse. They would have racks installed there. They would buy at wholesale rates and stock the material at these distribution centers. And from there, the material is picked up and delivered to the end customer. So what are the food apps? Dunzo, there is Instamart, there is Swiggy, there is Zepto, like there's a lot of apps are coming up. We really don't know what's going to happen after 2 to 3 years, but this is the current trend that is going on right now. So I think if we really try and understand, what is the current trend that is happening in the market, and change accordingly, to the trend in the market, change, see how you can change in terms of the product, or you can change in terms of offering solutions to the customer, or trying to target that particular segment. Dunzo, Swiggy didn't know about our company, but we had to really tap them, because the supermarket stores, Dunzo is completely different. We had to really tap them to get into their business. So trying to understand where our product will be useful and create a different, segment line to increase your business. So this is where we have really worked on. So when the company was handed over to me, it was around 15 crores. I went on to become the managing director 4-5 years back, and now we are nearing 100 crores. So with constant changes, with constant developments, and upbringing the team also with the current trends, was something that we've been constantly working on. There is, 3 things that we mainly focus as a Don Rax company. We, with respect to our customers, we mainly focus on the quality, we mainly focus on the delivery, we mainly focus on the price. These 3 things are taken care of. Obviously, our customer relationship would be on the top line. And we take our customer feedbacks or customer surveys very seriously, and we work towards that. So this is something that I wanted to share with all of you. And being a woman, a lot of people were surprised initially, how a woman is going to run a manufacturing industry. But there's nothing that a woman can't do. It's not something that you can run a company only if you have that technical knowledge. You can hire people with technical knowledge. What you need to do is get the acceptance of the people. Just because my father owns this company, it's not that the second generation are easily accepted. So that was a challenge, where people had to be first convinced. My own people had to be first convinced that, yes, I can take over the company and there is a future for this company. That confidence I was able to give them. And I was there, even I'm still there, whatever issues are there. Communication is the key in any organization. In any organization, when you want to run, communication is the key. So you take care of that, and you have your people to run. I'm sure they are the ones who are going to give solutions, where take their suggestions also seriously. It's up to you if you want to implement or not, but take their suggestions seriously, because they are the ones in the field, and implement, the suggestions accordingly. So, I have, I would say out of 100%, 90% really welcome me in the market. Yes, there are 10%, knowing, what a woman can do, but a lot of things are changing. Don't bother about the 10%, work towards that 90%. And as I said, nothing that a woman can't do. I have a 6-year-old son, so I take care of my family. I run a business as well, and I keep my hands full. So I feel, everyone can do it. Yes. And there are bigger things, bigger aim that I have as well. I'm sure in the next 5 years, if I'm again called to your company, to your college, I would, be able to tell you where, there would be a lot of change from what we are today down the line in the next 5 years. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That's it from my end.
Very much, ma'am. This is Aruna.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Just give me a minute. I'm very sorry that I couldn't join you in the beginning of the session.
No problem. No problem.
I was held up with another session.
Okay.
But yes, for the past 20 minutes, I've been with you and trying to understand your business, how it works, the entire process that you were explaining. Really interesting. It's something new to most of us.
Okay.
Definitely has been enjoying. Before we go on to the Q&A session, I have really a very important question, where you spoke about taking over another business, these small retail stores.
The big retail giants taking over small stores.
Yes, all the small stores. I just wanted to check, is this a replica model that they are showcasing these stores, these new departmental stores, or would they run as it is with their products? What is the differentiation that they show in this?
Yeah. So what happens? See, again, we need to split. We need to understand the supermarket owner. Okay, let me just name him as owner. What is his aim? Is he looking to build stores or have chain of stores, and then looking at big retail chain coming and taking over his chain of stores, or is he only just going to open 1 or 2 stores, just keep running it, that's it? So these are two separate things that we really need to understand, because there are some family owned business where they don't want to give it to any other retail company. They want to run it by themselves. So with that, they're satisfied with just 2-3 stores. They don't want to grow big in terms of revenue. They're just happy with what income they get. But there are other segment stores where, they have about 15-20 stores. It becomes beyond a point, it becomes difficult to manage. So what happens, these retail giants like Reliance, what they're doing, they come in onto the picture, they get onto the board, probably, on 100%, they might become, on a larger chunk, they might become the shareholder. So Reliance typically drives these chain stores, the owner of the chain stores. He would be a part of the board. So he is typically selling about, I would say about 51% stake or about 75% stake to, the bigger retail giant. But still he has a shareholding in the company. So that's typically what's happening. And Reliance is also looking at taking over small Kirana stores where they're converting it to, or they're identifying people who want to invest in Reliance and set up a small store and give them to run it.
Okay, got it. So it's more of operations basis, not like what I was thinking was it probably they are converting them into a franchise model. Probably these small retail stores are getting converted into franchise of the bigger brand.
No.
Okay,
no.
That
franchise is different, where you take a franchise of, like Nilgiris was the franchise model. It was a very successful franchise model before Future Group took over. And after that, nothing has really moved forward. So with Nilgiris, it is franchise based, but with Reliance, it's completely taking over, being the majority stakeholder. So those stores are renamed itself to Reliance. So that's what happened. Yeah.
Got it. Great. So that clarifies my doubt. Now we have questions from our participants also. Dear participants, if you would like to ask clarify your doubts or ask any questions to our speaker, you can unmute your audio and ask the questions or type in chat box. Manad, you can read the questions if there are any in the chat box. Participants, you can also raise your hand if you would like to. We can unmute your audio.
You can feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure I'll be able to answer. So it could be anything. Don't think that, no, I might not have knowledge on it. When I started off, I didn't have any knowledge, but it was obviously the experience that I had over the years has given me this knowledge.
Good day, ma'am.
Yeah.
My name is Manat, ma'am, and I have a question with you.
Sure.
Which is your best ever design that you had done for your customers? Like they have really loved it.
Okay, so the best ever design is something that we've recently launched. It's called Boltless Racking. So you don't require typically the bolts to install. So that reduces the installation time and obviously the cost as well. You don't have to spend on the fasteners and all that. So, something that we've really used in terms of, using bolts and things like that. We have, come out with the boltless shelving itself. It's called Boltless Racking. That is one. There was one more also that we have developed for more retail, where the racks, if you see the pillars that has been done, it is a welded part. But what we have developed with the design as a dismantling type. So, the customer can use it either as a center rack by just, adding another attachment of the base part. If it is a welded component, obviously you can't remove it. You can't cut it and you can't use it at the side. If it is a dismantling kind of a product at the base, He is able to use it either in the center or at the sides. So our products, if you see, you can dismantle, and if the store at that particular location doesn't do well, you can dismantle, identify another store and assemble it there. So it is not like the carpentry ones where you do it and you can't move out and things like that. Either you want to move it from ground floor to first floor, you're expanding, or you want to open a new store, or you don't want to continue in this business, you want to sell the racks to someone else, you can dismantle and assemble it at another place. So once you buy the racks, I would say if manhandling is not done, easily for 20 years, they can use it. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so my idea is related to fashion retail. So, okay, as I said initially, we're into two segments. One is the supermarket and hypermarket racking segment, which is completely the grocery. And the other one is into the warehouses and the industrial segment. So we do not cater to the boutique kind of stores, or that you see Max, Lifestyle, those kind of stores we don't, but we cater to the back end, that is the storage centers. So over there, if you see, there is something called multi-tier racking. There is something called pallet racking, where the racks are about, anywhere between 11 to 12, 13 meters. 13 meters, I would say it would be about, 39 feet. That is the height, 39 feet is the height. So, with the e-commerce shift, everyone is, looking at, buying things online. So the customers are eventually moved, to sell the products from the store itself. So there, the end customers have seen that there's a huge shift in the, yes, obviously it is known, to all of us that the future is e-commerce. But it wasn't known that, post-pandemic, that the shift would be so huge, which none of us have expected. So because of that, the e-commerce warehouses have shot up like anything. A lot of, investments have been going on there. Coming to the fashion retail related outlets, yes, there was a huge struggle, a lot of stores closing down in the front end and all. But the Indian buying, culture is like, yes, there is a segment of people where they really, want to go to the store and buy. There is a segment of people who are satisfied with online shopping. So that is something, it's a mixed market. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the fashion retail. What do you think will be the future of small retail stores if the retail giants continue to take over these stores? Yes. So, in the past, when I said the corporates were really importing the racks and, buying it at very low cost, we saw that it was this unorganized segment only which was doing well, and they didn't really have any problem. It was the retail giants. Yes, for a span of about 4 to 5 years, they were doing really good. There was a threat in the market, but eventually it was the individual retail stores only that took over. Now, again, there is a huge shift to the organized retail, the retail giants that has been happening, but we still cater to a large, unorganized retail stores. We are not seeing, I wouldn't say a huge increase or something post-pandemic, but it's been just consistent. We need to really wait and watch how the corporate giants are really going to work, beyond 3 to 5 years, because this is not self-managed. It is run by retail giants. Previously, the hypermarkets were really big, in numbers, but there was an unknown loss or a heavy loss that was really going on. So they're completely driven by the top lines, that is in making revenues. But are they really making the bottom lines is something that we really need to wait and watch. But I wouldn't say that there is a big growth in the unorganized segment, but I'm saying I would say that it's been consistent. That's it. But yes, there is a huge shift or the bigger growth that's happening with the corporates and the food delivery apps. And what and all are the new fixtures that are a trend in the market? Coming to the warehousing segment, obviously the automation of the racking, where the products at different levels or different segments is lifted by the automation concept using conveyors or material handling equipments and so on. And obviously the barcoding technology, the software and barcoding technology is something that is a different vertical that is required in a warehouse. Coming to the supermarket trend fixtures, they're only looking at higher loads. So we are looking at how to strengthen our racking in terms of giving heavier thickness, in terms of changing the design, which could take heavier load in per level. So this is what we have been doing with the consistent improvisations in our fixtures. So what strategies do you use to motivate staff members? Obviously, we have the incentive model structure, which is positioned in our organization. The sales are completely driven. Yes, they have a base salary package, but they also have incentives based on the orders that they get. They have been given constant training. So I'm a part of different business organizations where I constantly keep looking out for different consultants in terms of motivating. It could be the sales team motivating or changing the processes in the manufacturing, that is our production unit. It could be in terms of the design team as well. So there is a constant, retail consultants who we keep making them come and give different talks. We allow the team to give their experiences or knowledge sharing that happens. We have our weekly and monthly review meetings. Orders that are lost are taken seriously. It is not that I would say 100% orders are asked, but orders that are lost is taken seriously. Why we have lost those orders? Is it because of our pricing? Is it because of GST issues? Or is it because of customers not happy with our product? Those are the constant feedbacks that we keep dwelling on, and we constantly work on that. So and we have constant outings also for the employees. It's not just a simple outing, but an outing on a purpose, where there is a trainer who comes and does team building activities. And if you see, the attrition in my company is very, very less. People really enjoy. There's a lot of freedom that is given. At the same time, their targets are also reminded, and we keep pushing them to work on their targets as well. So we give them a good culture in terms of working. We also expose them to a lot of other training, because our company, when it is growing, we might be limited in terms of knowledge. So we tie up with different agencies or consultancies who have vast experience working with other companies to give the same experience for us. Wanted to know the story behind the name Don Rax. Yes, as I had informed before, this company was started by my father. He had invented rice cookers, automatic rice cookers, and he named it as Donna. And if I'm not wrong, Donna is the name, I think it's an Italian name for female or women. If I'm not wrong, I think I'm sure that it's an Italian name for female or women. So since women use rice cookers, my dad decided that he would name the company as Donna. Then after he had sold that company to National, he wanted to invent, or not invent, I would say, develop the supermarket racking. He was going on thinking of a name. So from Donna, it became Don Rax. So that is the story behind Don Rax. So what your thoughts on metaverse, like a live experience on online shopping during pandemic? Every store are shifting to e-commerce, but environment and shopping experience we got in offline. Okay, can't be matched by online shopping. Yes, as I said, we really need to wait and watch what is really going on. But there are some things doesn't really require, offline shopping. For example, groceries, you know very well what brand you want, you know very well what grocery you want. Maybe fruit and vegetable, yes, you will want to go to the store, because what the delivery guy gives you will not give you a quality vegetable, or it might be spoiled or something like that. But when it comes to grocery, obviously he's not going to give you an expired product or something, which you always have the option of returning. And there you get it in 10 minutes, like, whatever, you're looking at ordering, you get it in 10, 15 minutes, your online delivery. But when it comes to clothing is something that, yes, online apps have different brands on the e-commerce website. There are some people with a specific brand, they might know that, yes, this fitting is fine, so I would go with that specific brand. There are a lot of people who are patient enough also, in terms of the exchanges and things like that. Because once you buy, there's nothing that you cannot exchange. You definitely can exchange or return a product. So that's one very good thing with the online, shopping. But what happens is people who do not have the patience to wait or do not have the time, who are looking at immediate purchase, and obviously on the fittings and all in terms of the apparel, and your bad experience in terms of fruits and vegetables and things like that, is something that they would prefer an offline experience. Yes. I hope I was able to answer.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Sure.
Ma'am, what's your USP, like the technique which you use to boost the growth of the company?
See, there are different rack manufacturing companies. As I said, one is the ERP system that we have in place. And second is we are a approachable management, top management. So it is not that no customer can be without reaching me. So in the warehouse segment racks, we compete with companies like Neil Kamal, Godrej, but the customer cannot reach Neil Kamal owner or Godrej owner. They probably maximum they can talk to the general manager or the vice president of the company. That's how they can talk to. But here, the top management is approachable, and we constantly keep striving on the quality, the delivery, and the pricing of our product.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So if I could, just ask a question to all of you, I just want to know, if you could, how many of you are looking at either joining your family business or, starting something of your own, or working in some organization? Maybe if you could just type yes in the chat box so that I would know that most of you are. Great, great. Great. So any kind of knowledge sessions, anything, or, if anyone is really looking at knowing a real-time experience, what is really going on in a manufacturing industry, yes, the team can come.
Thank you very much for that opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you. Whatever you take up, this is for everyone. Whatever you take up, it could be even, being a housewife, taking care of your kids. I feel that's the toughest job. And, if you're looking at starting something on your own or joining your family business or joining some work, give it 100%. If you have any doubts or you think you don't know something about it, keep learning, ask questions, keep learning. That's how, if you are open to asking questions, if you're willing to learn something new every time, there's no stopping over there. That's the major thing for you to grow.
Yes, that's right, ma'am. In fact, that was really motivating. Definitely our students who are going to be our tomorrow's entrepreneurs,
Sure.
They definitely need this piece of advice from you.
Definitely. And we require more women run organizations.
Yes, today's entire set of participants are female candidate participants.
Yes.
And this entire batch, I would like to bring them to your factory, probably to know more about manufacturing as well.
Sure, definitely.
That will help them.
Definitely.
So, dear participants, any more questions that you have?
Good day, ma'am. I have a question, ma'am.
Sure.
When I went through your profile, I saw two words. It was really new to me: mezzanine floors and cantilever racks. Sorry,
Yes.
cantilever racks.
Cantilever.
What are those, ma'am? Can you
So
explain?
mezzanine floors, so cantilever and mezzanine floors are something that is used in the warehouses. and industries. So people who are, obviously today real estate prices are very, very high. So people, when they have a warehouse, they want to have a place for storage as well as an office space. But if you have, in a 10,000 square feet warehouse, 5,000 for storage and 5,000 for office space, it becomes a problem. So what they do, we give vertical storage. So there is a mezzanine that is built, on top of which the office is created, below which the storage is kept. So you would have, if you browse through what are mezzanine offices or mezzanine floors, you will see that the office is given at an upper level. So though that construction is done by us. And cantilever racks are something like your tubular racks for your tube storage and all that, which is of higher length. So different products have different types of racking, or different end products have different types of racking.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think we are done with the questions, ma'am.
Great.
Thank you very much. We would definitely love to have you in our college.
Sure, definitely.
To address our students and give them more insights on this.
Definitely.
So we'll wind up with an official vote of thanks. Yes, Pratima, take over.
Your deep insight must have inspired these young spectators and must have got a vision of how futuristic that they must take forward their business. So thank you, ma'am, for such inputs. As the quote says, some memories are unforgettable, remaining ever vivid and heartwarming. I hope you all have enjoyed this workshop. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place our warm and hearty thanks to Ms. Sujata Karthik ma'am for the support and guidance she has extended to all of us for this wonderful session. My thanks and gratitude to an ever-encouraging secretary, Srimati Usha Abhya Shishimal ma'am, Associate Secretary, Dr. Harish L. Mehta sir, our Principal, Dr. S. Padmavati ma'am, Vice Principal, Dr. S. Rukmatni ma'am, our Executive Director, Mr. G. Balakrishnan sir. Thank you all for your enormous encouragement and guidance at every point of need. I extend my sincere thanks to all the teaching and non-teaching people for their constant support and cooperation. A special thanks to technical team who has always been a great pillar of support as the world is completely digitalized, and the technical staff play a major role in facilitating the workshops conducted by us. We thank the spectators of today's session for creating a positive response to this workshop. Last but not the least, I thank the Almighty who has blessed us abundantly and made this event a great success. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time that you've spent with us.
I hope it was fine.
Hoping to get associated with you again.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Dear participants, kindly fill the feedback form. The link is posted in the chat box.
I hope I can exit.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time.